Okay, guys. So Ron DeSantis is giving a speech to the Yale Federalist Society, and he says some very interesting things about ICE. But essentially, he calls for cooperation between states and cities when it comes to ICE. But then he moves over to Elon Musk, Doge, and holding Congress accountable. Gets really kind of crazy. He gets really heated, guys. Be sure you watch to the end, guys, and do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up like button.
My name is JP. I go to University of Chicago Law School. Rich brought me as a guest. I just wanted to ask you a question about Chicago because I currently live there. You see states like Illinois and Chicago in specific, which is really fighting against the Trump administration. In fact, there's a lawsuit right now trying to fight against some of the ICE orders. And I was just wondering from the opposite perspective, instead of fighting the federal government, what can states do to help against a lot of this illegal immigration? Is there anything that you can do as governor to help accelerate some of these processes? Just like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I've already done it. So so I've been doing stuff now on this for a long time. I've had people at the border when Biden was president, all this other stuff. When Haiti was having all the turmoil a year ago, people said, oh, you're going to be 100,000 Haitians show up in Florida. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. I put boats out. We stopped. We have people that have been working with ICE on different things for a long time. But I just signed an agreement with Florida Highway Patrol and ICE under something called 287G. So basically it's a bunch of programs where you can be deputized and exercise power alongside or even in addition to ICE. And so the state of Florida is going to do all that. I mean, we'll be the anti-California, the anti-Illinois when it comes to interior enforcement. Now, I'm currently battling our legislature about, yes, I'm going to do it as governor with our agencies, but really every local law enforcement needs to participate. You cannot frustrate the interior enforcement. So we're looking to, I think we're going to generate something this week. I called them in, they didn't like that, so they passed a really stinker bill. It blew up in their face, and so now I think they're looking to do some good policy. But basically, if you say you have an obligation to help, we'll provide funding and grants so that you're not detracting from other things. But it can't just be that someone comes illegally and unless they commit an axe murder, you're not going to ever enforce the law against them. That doesn't work. So I think we hopefully will be able to get this in statute where the duty on both state and local are to participate. And so I think you'll see a lot of these agreements that will be signed. It'll be a force multiplier. And the thing is, yes, secure the border with a wall. Yes, go after the cartels. But ultimately, if people know as long as they get here, then there's never going to be enforcement. People are going to still be enticed to come. And so when they see that there's going to actually be interior enforcement, I think it's a huge deterrence for people to come illegally. I also think these sanctuary cities should be defunded. I think you probably need Congress to actually do that. I know they're trying to do a lot through executive action, and maybe some of it will stick. But if Congress appropriates money, it has the right to condition that money. I'm not sure the executive can just simply impose. You may be able to. I don't know. I think these are open questions. But clearly, Congress can just say, if you're not participating, you are ineligible for all these funds. And I think that they should do that. And it also brings up, just beyond immigration, you're watching with the Doge, and they're going into some of these agencies and they're pulling this stuff out and highlighting this stuff. Why is it taking Elon Musk to do this? Okay, Republicans have had the House control the majority of the last 15 years. Why haven't they ferreted this out? And why do they continue to pass omnibus spending bills and continuing resolutions that basically give the bureaucrats free rein? Bureaucrats, if they know that behaving badly will lead to their programs being defunded, they have an incentive to behave better. If they think it doesn't matter and the government's on autopilot and Congress is just going to continue to do these massive spending bills that nobody reads, then they have every incentive to behave badly. And so I think that's why you've seen things like this USAID go off the rails. I think that's why you're going to see a lot of corruption in FEMA and some of these other agencies, because there's no accountability. Congress has ceded its most important power, the power of the purse. Why? Largely because Republicans fear a lapse in appropriations, a government shutdown, like that's the worst thing ever. Well, okay, if you think avoiding that's the worst thing ever and you're just going to continue to write checks with no strings attached and let the bureaucrats continue what they're doing, then don't turn around and complain when the bureaucrats behave badly. You're funding them. You are providing this for them. And so I think it's been the great failure of Congress that they haven't exercised the power of the purse. You would not have a bloated administrative state like you do if Congress was serious about policing bad behavior within the bureaucracy. So if you want to bring the administrative state to heel, it's not going to be enough to just turn Elon Musk loose. You're going to need Congress to actually follow up and use the power of the purse.
Okay, guys, we're going to dive into this. First of all, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for leaving a like. Hitting that thumbs up like button really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I want to say I really appreciate you. And thanks for subscribing, guys. Joining the difference. Okay, let's jump into this because he made some great remarks here. DeSantis highlighted Florida's aggressive stance on illegal immigration, working with ICE, and using state agencies to enforce federal law. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Congress, especially Republicans, has failed to act, which is crazy to me. And I love the fact that DeSantis is going to call out his own. He's not just going after Democrats, guys. He's not just blind to one party, but he's calling out his own. He's saying, why did it take Elon Musk? He's calling out Congress. They're continuing to fund sanctuary cities, avoiding tough immigration policies. Why does it take a governor to do what Congress should be handling? Why did it take Elon Musk to do what Republicans should have done a long time ago? Anyway, DeSantis argues that cities refusing to cooperate with ICE should lose federal funding. Well, should Congress move on this? I mean, why are taxpayers funding cities that refuse to uphold federal laws? Think about that for a second. What would happen if Congress actually attached strings to federal dollars? DeSantis frames Florida as the opposite of progressive-run states when it comes to enforcing immigration laws. Unlike Illinois and California, Florida is actively cooperating with ICE rather than resisting federal enforcement. Is this why Florida continues to attract businesses and residents from failing blue states? Because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but everybody right now is moving to states like Florida. DeSantis calls out Congress for failing to hold government agencies accountable, leaving people like Elon Musk to do the job. Musk's investigations into government contracts and wasteful spending expose corruption. But why hasn't Republicans done the same? Why is it taking Elon Musk? Should billionaires be responsible for uncovering corruption? Or isn't this Congress's job? That's what we're paying them for. DeSantis points out that Congress holds the real power to rein in government overreach by controlling spending. So why are Republicans afraid of using this power? Are they more concerned about a government shutdown than stopping bad policies? Come on, guys. If Congress stopped rubber stamping massive spending bills, would we see real accountability? And then DeSantis argues that Republicans have controlled the House for most of the last 15 years. Wow. So why haven't they fixed these issues? They keep passing massive spending bills that fund the same bureaucrats that they complain about. So is the GOP just too weak to fight back, or are they complicit? Guys, I'm so glad that we have someone like Donald Trump in there that's shaking up the party, and he's saying, the Republicans have been running the mainstream, like, we've got to drain the swamp. That's what the whole idea of draining the swamp is even the Republicans are just going along with all this. This is crazy. So should Congress cut funding to sanctuary cities? Should Republican leadership grow a backbone and use the power of the purse? Is DeSantis right to call out his own party for their failures? What role should governors versus Congress play in securing the border and holding the government accountable? Let me know what you think, guys, down in the comments. I really want to see what y'all's thoughts are. Okay, guys, I appreciate everybody for watching this video. Y'all have a fantastic day. I'll be back with another video a little bit later. But again, guys, just thank you so much for all the likes, all the comments, all the subscriptions. Thanks for all the love, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, have a good one.